Every story has a beginning, just like every recipe has steps and directions. Without the beginning, we can't move forward. And that's exactly what this episode is about. Going back to basics. I'm Funeka Pepeta, and I'm joined in the kitchen by my good friend and baking expert, Mpho Palani from Food I Love You.
And that's right, Funs. I'm here to walk this journey with you and our snowflakers at home.
Now, I know cooking and baking can be intimidating. I used to feel that way, and people used to always say, I don't know how to measure things, or there's too many instructions, and my stuff never comes out the way that they're supposed to look. But don't worry, Snowflake is here to the rescue. Welcome to the Snowflake School.
And with 137 years of heritage, Snowflake has been with us from the beginning. It is in our homes, making magwinya, malva pudding, and always too fresh to flop.
Baking and cooking are skills that can be learned. It's not supposed to be complicated. And Snowflake wants to be your partner in the kitchen and equip you with the tools so you can make delicious recipes that can be shared with family and friends.
Now we are here to be a partner beyond baking. We want to inspire your baking and cooking using Snowflake's premium products.
Okay, Mpho, let's start at the very beginning. What are the cardinal rules to cooking and baking?
Rule number 1, read your recipe. I cannot tell you enough. That is important. Understand your recipe from A to Z, and then follow the steps. They're there for a reason. I create checklists for myself. It helps me to avoid buying things that I already have in my pantry.
Recipes are tried and tested. Follow the instructions and you'll have a solid foundation. Okay, Mpho, so I see a lot of equipment in front of us. Can you talk us through what we have?
To start off with, we need a good working stove and oven. Then I've got my measuring equipment. This one over here, my jug, it works for my larger volume liquids. I have my measuring cups. They come in different sizes and they're measuring liquids and dry ingredients, the same as the spoons.
What else do we have?
Then, one of my favorite equipment and tool that we use in our kitchen is the scale. This gives you precise weight. Then we have a whisk over here, or you can even purchase a hand beater. Then, one of my favorites too is a flat bladed knife. And this here helps us to level all our dry ingredients.
So that when you mix in your ingredients, you don't put too much, you level it at what you need.
Then our mixing bowls never can be without any of these.
So can you talk us through what I see you have in the kitchen here?
Yes, please. So we have different bakeways and they react different to heat. So these ones here, aluminium. They are heat conductors, so they allow heat to pass through and give us a really good bake. So the next thing you need to know is about measuring. You need the precise ratios because baking is all about science.
So Mpho, when we measure, what would be the types of things we'd measure? How would we go about making sure that we get that right?
Let me show you how. To measure your dry ingredients, you need to fill it up to the top. Never pack your flour in or shake it to have it level. That changes the measurement. Once you have filled it to the top, then you can level it off. And for sugar, you can scoop and level thereafter. To measure your liquid ingredients, when you check your measurement, make sure that your eyes are level with the liquid. Don't look from the top because you might not get the correct amount.
So Mpho, I've always seen with every recipe I've read, they've always stressed the importance of the right temperature and preheating your oven. Why is that so important?
Well, that's important because it's a determining factor of how your bake comes out.
I know that baking is a science. I mean, your butters will melt, your sugar dissolves, and also you can caramelize. So perhaps let's take them through the different degrees of our oven.
So our very low temperature is 135 degrees. Then a low oven is between 150 and 160 degrees. Then moderate oven is at 180 to 190 degrees. And this setting helps you balance cooking and baking. And our bread and pastry is generally between 180 and 220 degrees.
It's good to know that because different things bake at different temperatures. How do we know when our goods are baked through?
With this little guy here, by inserting it in the center, and if it comes out clean, we know we're ready to go. We've got a good bake.
So if it's a little bit damp, we should put it back in the oven and let it cook through for a little bit longer and then check again.
Yes.
If you don't have a skewer at home, you're more than welcome to use a toothpick, because the whole point is not to mess up your baked good. And you can use it to test if it's cooked through. I think if you can master these 5 basics, you're well on your way.
Baking is a variation of using the same ingredients, just manipulated different. From making magwenya to macarons, you're just applying the cardinal rules.
Well, that's it for this lesson. We hope that when you go into the next lessons and you feel overwhelmed, you'll pause, come back, refresh, and then go back and make magic. We'll see you at the next one.